And so people had a lot of expectations about the parade and especially his speech regarding mobilization, whether President Putin will call this a war, whether or not, for example, he will call for a victory. And in a way, the surprising thing was that he didn't talk about much. It was kind of quite a defensive speech. The focus was mainly on Donbass and on themes that, the Russia had no choice but to get involved in the war in Ukraine. There was also an important mention of the fact that, for example, the children and family of the fallen soldiers in Ukraine will get compensation, that they are sort of fighting a patriotic cause and, they're making their ancestors sort of proud. But it was not the bombastic and eventful speech that a lot of the commentators were expecting. The speech was quite short, but the coverage that the Russians saw was actually, lasted the whole morning and was very extensive. And there were direct links between past and sort of present on the Russian TV before the parade started. And so the soldiers sort of themselves created this hypothetical historical link between the fighting of Nazism in 1945 and what they're doing today in 2022. Commentators, including myself, were interested in looking and seeing a number of things. For example, the state of health of President Putin himself, right? There has been a lot of discussion about him being ill. And in that sense, we could all well see that Putin was in good enough health. The second focus that we had was on the defense minister. There were lots of rumors about Shoigu being ill, having had heart attacks. And again, a lot of the interest was on whether or not Shoigu would essentially be able to stand up for the entire parade. And again, we saw that he was capable of doing that. The interesting thing that we saw was the way that Putin actually then sat down surrounded by the veterans. And in that way, Putin has been trying to position himself and to create this physical link between him and the veterans of the Great Patriotic War by being placed between and amongst them. Now, Putin himself actually doesn't have much of military experience. For all that he was part of the FSB, he's not an army man. And there's been a lot of criticism levied against him that he basically doesn't know much about the conduct of war. We still don't know what President Putin ultimately wants as the end goal and the conclusion to the war in Ukraine. And I think in that sense, neither the Russian public nor the Western commentators have found out anything about it in practice.